What is good, everyone? Psych Perspectives, giofvcks. Disclaimer, trigger warning, disclaimer. This video is going to potentially upset some folks. Now, I want to start this video off with saying that, number one, if we're going to use the social constructions of gender roles and what men are supposed to do as masculine folks and what women are supposed to do as feminine folks, I don't prescribe to traditional gender roles, or those are hardcore social constructs like that. But for the sake of this video and the sake of this perspective and argument, we're going to subscribe to those social constructions and those traditional gender roles. Got that disclaimer out. It's Friday. Cheers. Hope you and your family are good. But I want to get this disclaimer out, right? This is going to be a long video. So now that that's out the way, let's get into it. Again, this is going to upset some people potentially. But black men, black masculine folks, black trans men, black trans masculine, black cisgendered men, black heterosexual men, black masculine folks, regardless of your sexuality, regardless of your gender identity. If you're going to take on the masculine and I'm the man role, then here's some things that I've always just kind of felt like, what in the hell is going on? And the reason why I felt like this is because, you know, if you're supposed to be the protector, the provider, okay, then how come in the black community we don't see protecting and providing? I mean, it's just strange to me that people want to it ain't people. Black men want to constantly, black masculine folks want to constantly talk about, I'm an alpha male. It's my job. I'm a man. I wear the pants in this household. This is my kingdom. This is my woman, my children, my family, my community. I'm a black man. Then act like one. Because I don't understand how we can look at our community, look at our family structures. Where are the black men? Where are the black masculine folks? Because who's protecting anyone? And who's providing? Because collectively speaking, black folks, what the hell is going on? You couldn't protect yourself from you couldn't protect us from being enslaved. I mean, again, you got to ask yourself, how in the hell do you enslave an entire group of people, an entire race, ethnicity, culture of people in their country, in their continent? Somewhere down the line, the black man, the black masculine person was nowhere to be found. Where was the protecting then? Okay. Then we get over here. Many of us die in the process, you know, from being killed on the ships, dying of sickness, and being murdered and thrown over the shipboards into the ocean, and then getting over here and being slaughtered and abused and beat and hung and raped and everything else. Where was the protectors? You know, and I'm saying this because it's like, damn, you're constantly talking about being this strong black man, but you are nowhere to be found 95% of the time. And I'm being nice by giving you 5%, because as quiet as it's kept, we don't see it. We sitting up here right now. Y'all sitting up here having marches and protests for Ahmaud Arbery. Rest in peace. And I used to be march, protest, rally, die-in, sit-in, boycott, blah, 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 blah. We've been doing that for centuries, and it has gotten us no fucking where. We are in the same predicament. Okay? Yes, I just used the F word. Finish this and then smoke the other one. We are in the same predicament. Now, here we are in the middle of a pandemic, right? We are in the middle of a pandemic. And we boycotted and protested knowing that black and brown people are we are the ones at risk for contracting coronavirus due to our poor health systems, oppression, systemic oppressive systems, not having access to health care, not having living wages. Our communities tend to be in brown zones, aka areas that have already been polluted. Like I said, I'm in Flint. We sitting up here, neighborhood right next door to the damn GM factory. So the air quality over here ain't right. And all those chemicals are seeping into the ground. So all this shit is polluted. It's a brown zone. And don't get me wrong. I totally get why people protest today for Arbery. Rest in peace. I do. But there's no social distancing. Everyone's not wearing masks. There's more than 10 people. COVID is airborne. Where's the logic in that? And also, we've been marching, protesting, rallying, demonstrating for a long time. And black people are still being murdered by white folks. Black people are still being murdered by police. Black people are still being murdered by black people. It isn't stopping anybody from being killed. So I just being honest, I feel like we need to be using other methods instead of just protesting and rallying. And again, this also, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not, disclaimer, I'm not trying to incite rallies and protests and violence. I'm just saying this, I'm arguing this perspective because, psych perspective. I really want to start doing videos like this where I argue a perspective and you can drop your perspective, opinions, and how you feel. Gonna do some live videos as well. Stay tuned. But, I gotta go there. It just looks like all black people can do is march, rally, hashtag, we shall overcome, kumbaya, and all that shit. In the meantime, you know what white men are doing? They're gunning your black ass down while you're going for a jog. They're pulling up to the state capitals with AR-15s and don't tread on me flags, ready to go to war. While we're sitting up, hands up, don't shoot, hands up, don't shoot. Marching, protesting, and rallying, and ain't getting shit accomplished. Okay, ain't no laws being passed, ain't no policies being introduced and passed, ain't no lives being saved here. We sitting up here waiting to be the next hashtag. We got some GG4. Gonna get it in. And again, you supposed to be the black men, black masculine folks. We supposed to be the protectors. We supposed to be the providers under these, traditional gender roles, even though I don't prescribe to them. But for the sake of this argument and this perspective, yet I'm not seeing it. Like, you're not protecting anybody in your community. The women are being molested and raped and sexually assaulted by people that look just like them, aka other black folks. The children are being assaulted. Your boys are being gunned down in the street by each other and the police and random white vigilante terrorists. I mean, who's protecting who? But in the meantime, y'all can join gangs. Y'all can join gangs. You feel me? Y'all can sit up and join gangs to kill each other. Y'all can do that shit all day. Y'all can make rap song after rap song about fuck that nigga, kill that nigga, beat that nigga, fuck that bitch, fuck that hoe, run a train, get that money, sell them drugs, do your thing. You can do that all day nonstop, but you ain't protecting nobody in the community. You're not providing for nobody in the community. So what is your purpose, black men, black masculine folks? What is your purpose? What is our purpose? You're not there for your kids. Okay, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. There's no mistake. The damn near 70% of black children are growing up in single parent households, typically reared by the black woman. So again, black men, black masculine folks, what are we doing? Like, because you're not with your kids collectively. Now I'm speaking in collective terms. Okay, what are we, 13, 14% of the population in the USA? And out of that 13, 14% of us, 70% of us are at single parent homes. So you have to ask yourself, where's the other parent? What's going on? Also, why are we always in poverty? Already, systemic issues such as racism and classism play a huge role in why collectively black people are typically in poverty, working class, working poor. But again, going back to those traditional gender roles for the sake of the argument, your man is supposed to be bringing home the bacon. So black men, black masculine folks, why are we not bringing home the bacon? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what's up? What are we doing? You're supposed to be the protector. You're supposed to be the alpha male. Every time I turn around, in my experience, niggas ain't doing shit. Niggas are sitting up. They want their girl to take care of them. They want their mama to take care of them. They want their boy to take care of them. They're not being independent. They're not being alpha males, okay? These are motherfucking zeta males. Okay, zeta. Look up zeta males, okay? Because right now, this ain't right. And we all know this ain't right. We all know, like, I'm going to take a break on this because I don't want to be too lit. But we all know this is dysfunctional. You know, it's dysfunctional. You know, you're supposed to build the foundation for your family. A lot of us don't, we sitting on stilts. We don't even have a foundation. You feel me? We don't have a foundation. We don't have a legacy. We don't have anything left to carry our names and everything down next generation and next generation. And then what we do have is so dysfunctional and barbaric and out of control. Like, you know, what you're leaving behind is poverty, struggle of, deadbeatry, abuse, you know, trauma. You're not leaving anything positive. And I mean, you know, when we talk about traditional manhood, traditional masculinity, this is what they talk about. You're supposed to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You're supposed to be the mountain. You're supposed to be the foundation. You're supposed to be the shoulders for your family, your community to cry on, to lean on. You're supposed to be the bank to supply everybody. You're supposed to be the army to protect everybody. But that's not what's happening and hasn't been happening. Again, how the hell do you enslave an entire group of people in their own backyard? You got to ask yourself, we've been dropping the ball for centuries. This ain't new. Shit. No way in hell. Okay? We sit up here and then what gets on my nerves is when I look at black men and black masculine folks, we run a good game. We talk a lot of shit. You know, I'm this, I'm that. But then there's a lot of talk, no walk, no actions. If you're going to talk the talk, you better be able to walk the walk. And my thing is, that's the problem with a lot of black men and black masculine folks. We run our mouths. But what do you have to show for it? Nobody wants to hear about how you this and you that. But then in reality, when we see you out and about, you don't have this and that. Niggas get on YouTube, run their mouth off talking about how they're protecting families and all this other shit. But then when you actually know them, they're a deadbeat. They haven't seen their kids in how long. They don't pay child support. They have cheated. And that's another thing. Why do you keep having kids with these women and these feminine people if you don't want to raise that child? What's the point? Wear a condom, my nigga. Get a vasectomy, my nigga. Buy her or the feminine person birth control. Make sure they have plan B. Ain't no way in hell I'll be sitting up here having kids with somebody that I don't want to be with, and I don't want to raise the kid, and I don't want the kid. So what are we doing? A man, masculine, we supposed to handle our business. We supposed to handle our responsibilities. So this having kids and you have no intentions of taking care of, you already don't like the other person, the woman, the girl, the feminine person. You don't like them. That's a bitch. That's a hoe. That's a thought. But you decided to have sex with them. So what does that make you? And then you get up and you complain about child support when you didn't have to have child support because you didn't have to have the damn kid in the first place. But now you sit up, instead of being accountable, instead of being a man, being masculine, taking ownership, you point the finger. Okay? That shit's whack. That's dead. That's not being a man. That's not being masculine. That's whack. I just wanted to throw that video out there because I see this mess all the time and I just be like, some of us are full of shit, bruh. Most of us are full of shit. Hell, when you look at collectively, when you look at us, something ain't right because how we all failing. So like I said, that's not manhood to me when you're not protecting, you're not providing. That's not masculinity. And don't sit up here and say that you know, and that's my thing. Don't sit up here and get on feminine people and women about what they're supposed to be doing. They need to cook. They need to clean. They need to do this. They need to do that. You know, they need to be quiet and be docile and submissive. But yet, what are you doing? You're not being dominant. You're not being a provider. You're not being a protector. Niggas will get on a woman about not, or a woman or a feminine person about not being able to cook when you can't change a fat tire. You don't even know what an alterator is. Okay? You don't know how to change oil. You don't know how to mow the lawn. You don't even know how to change. You can't do shit that a man is supposed to be doing. That's my thing. This is why I said, I personally don't subscribe to these gender roles, but for the sake of this argument, I'm trying to show you how stupid a lot of this stuff is, in my opinion. But hey, for the sake of argument, if she needs to be cooking and cleaning and Betty Crocker and be a homemaker, then you need to be out here paying all the bills, working, taking care of the kid, making sure they got what they need financially, emotionally. You need to be there. You need to be mowing the lawn. You need to be doing your part too. That's why I said I listen to us, but a lot of this, no actions. No actions. It's a bunch of mouth running. Which, for the sake of this argument, I thought running your mouth and going on Twitter and talking shit, that's what females do. That's what women do. That's what feminine people do. That's bitch shit. Yet most of the time, it's men and masculine folks running a damn mouth. Right, okay. Grown-ass men on Twitter having Twitter wars and shit. Okay. And then anytime somebody address us, oh, you hating on the black man. You hating on masculine. You hating on men. Anytime somebody hold your ass accountable, you have an issue with it. Again, men supposed to take responsibility. And from the looks of it, niggas ain't taking responsibility. Men ain't taking responsibility. Masculine folks ain't taking responsibility. Instead, they're running their mouths with no actions. Blaming the women, blaming the feminine people, blaming white folk, blaming everybody, but not themselves. And you know what? That's narcissistic as hell, because if you notice, a lot of narcissistic people, they have a hard time dealing with being accountable, right? Because they're perpetually the victim. They're always the damsel in distress. And when you look at how a lot of men are in our community, masculine folks in our community, they're always the damsel in distress, right? It's the white man, it's the woman, and if his mama didn't do this, and if his baby mama didn't do that, and if the white man would get off his back, it ain't never the fact that you're lazy, you're not a hard worker, you have no ambition, you lack motivation, you have no goals. You're not protecting, you're not providing, you're not doing shit. So again, I'm going to ask this question. What is your purpose? Because again, if we're going to, use this I'm a man shit, then be a man and stop sitting up here coming up with excuse after excuse after excuse to not be a man. And that's the end of this video. I just wanted to throw that perspective out there because I see that a lot. Like, all this I'm a man shit, but then when it's time to actually be a man, be masculine, not there for it. Now, you already know I'm going to have a video on women and feminine people. Stay tuned. Because you know me, I like to look at multiple angles. Because to me, you do need to study all sides. And don't just be narrow-minded to one little perspective, because that keeps you clouded. And that's how you end up, uninformed, unaware, living in a bubble, and basically kissing your own ass because you refuse to open your mind and grow. You refuse to have criticism. You refuse to have different opinions. You don't want to be accountable, and you don't want to be questioned. And that's not good. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. Let me know how you feel. There will be a one on women and feminine people soon. Rest in peace, Ahmaud Arbery, and many others who are no longer here. And this is what's sad. And many more who will also be potential victims. Because let's be real. Until we get real about some shit and stop just thinking that we're going to pray our way out of stuff, or we're going to march and rally and kumbaya our way out of stuff, and actually start getting real and implementing other tactics, other methods. Come on. It's going to be more death, more suffering, more pain. Y'all can cash at me if you would like to. Cash app $, giofvcks. It's in the description box below. Send $1 or $2. Send 5 or 10. Send 25 cents. Do whatever you would please to do. More videos to come. Out.